My name is Kevin Sheets. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar for my.cat.com. Today we will be presenting a quick run through of the website. When you go to Google, and you can use Firefox or some of the others, but we had the best luck with Google on our end. The Google bar up here at the top, the address bar, it will fill. You shouldn't have to do a search or any of that. It should come right up to this page. As you will see, I have this on a training site. I had my autofill in, which will go in a minute. But if you're new to the site, there's two ways you can sign up. One here, or you can sign up here. So either one, if you click it, it will just open the page, and you will just fill it out as you want it to appear. I have it autofill here, so it's Kevin Sheets. And then you'll pick your username and password and put in your email, your phone number, and your company name. As you follow the steps through, continue will take you to dealer selection, and you will be able to have multiple dealers if your equipment's in multiple locations, so we can have the dealer closest to you be available. Then you go to 3 and you'll set up your account links, and then click on the end user agreement and you'll be in. This normally takes 24 to 48 hours, and then we'll get back to you on it. Anytime you're negotiating the site, if you hit the little cat icon over here, it will take you back to the home page of where you're at. So for here, today we have the training site set up, and we're just going to click in here to a pre-built site that we're using. And as with everything and everybody on their remote computers now, we have a little bit slower than we're used to. So normally this comes up in wherever you want it to. I like to come up in the overview. And I'd like to go over a few things on this page as we do this. So, of course, your return to home screen here. Overview gives us a general fleet overview, which is your general fleet maintenance, general fleet health of any fault codes or anything that's coming up on your remote monitoring. Also, you can have tasks here. These are tasks that you will set up as a user, and they'll only be visible to you. No matter who else in your company or your fleet logs in, these tasks are your personal tasks and reminders. Your subscriptions will show over here.
I'm going to come social distancing.
And then we have operations over here. If you have any work orders or anything outstanding or that have just finished, they will show here. And then your customer value agreements come in over here. In the bottom down here, we have quick links. They're shortcuts to different applications that you may need access to. Anytime you see the little gear up here in the right corner, if you click on it, it will allow you to add or subtract links to that section of your fleet maintenance item. And all you have to do is hit apply when you're done, and it will update. So as we come back up to the top, I want to draw your attention to assets. You can come over here and get an asset list or asset health, asset maintenance, utilization, also your agreements, your QR codes if you've assigned them to your machines, and a toolkit. All of these are the same, and we can just concentrate down on certain aspects if you don't want to have the others up there. Operation, you can get service history or contracts here. My activity, you have your field program and different tasks that you've assigned yourself to do or that you want to remind yourself what to do or any requests you've put in. We go to the admin site, you have your manager maintenance menu, and your status flags can be assessed from there. The one handy tool here is you can do an asset search right from here, and you don't have to scroll through the whole asset list to find your machine. And we'll be using that in just a minute. As you come on over is your account information over here. And then on this tab over here, you can have pretty handy tool. You can explore new products. You can buy parts online from over here. You can find used products, rental products, and more manage my equipment from here also. And there is some financing solutions link here that will help you with financial solutions if you're looking to purchase another piece of equipment. As we come back, this is the one I really like here, is we have an alert right here on the header bar. It says you have one telemetrics device that is no longer reporting accurate data. So this, if I click here, this will take me straight to that report. You don't have to scroll through and find out which machine it is or anything. This will give you a full description of the report and what the resolution for that report is. When you're done, you just hit the back arrow and we will return to our asset list where we left off here. So as we go through, when you go from overview into asset list, now you are on the list, and this is the table view, which gives us a list of all our equipment. And if we scroll down here, try not to go too fast. As we scroll down here, you will see the ones that are connected up in green, where they're at, hours, monitoring, and PM hours that are showing past due here. And you can come over here and you can schedule a service. You can edit that asset, or you can remove it right from here. If you want to generate a QR code, you can do it from here also. Or if you want to leave yourself a note as a reminder of an upcoming, remind me on July 7th to schedule a service for this machine, you can leave yourself a task note right there, or you can assign an inspection straight from here if you need to. And we will see some more of these as we go through. So as you scroll down, and I want to take just a minute here to scroll down, notice the machine that had the alert also will show up down here with the alert on it. So it's in each place. If you miss it one, it will show up in the other place. As you go through here, you can also click on locations, and it will organize them by location. You can also click on service meter connection, and it will organize them that way. Get my little arrow back here. And again, you have actions that you can do over here that we saw before. The thing I like here is we can go to, back up, I hit the button too fast. The table view, I'm going to come down to the grid view. You can also do a map search right from here for each machine. So I'm going to bring up the grid view, and this makes each machine looks like a business card. It's a little bit more, everything we saw in the overview is now available on that card, schedule of service, ratings, if it's hooked up or not. The thing I like on this is if you have a fleet, like I said, if you have a fleet of 100, even 40 pieces of equipment, it's going to be real easy to come in here and just type in a partial serial number and it will find it for you. In this case, I put in a 18952 and it brought up my machine. And now it's going to give me the dashboard for that machine. If I don't want to look at the whole dashboard, I have the opportunity to click on any one of these and pick the one I want and go straight to it. But for now, we're going to do an overview of this machine. It has a service hour meter reading of 4,351 hours as of April 22nd. And this app updates every 24 hours. The machine is located in Beaumont, California. Next service is due on April 22nd. It has an action required, okay? And we see a scheduled oil sampling action required. We see blue is fault codes and gray is no information. It also has a fuel meter on it and we're connected up. So let's go down and look at each one of these just briefly. So as we're coming up on an inspection, let's say we got a PM inspection due here. So I'm going to click on maintenance and it's going to bring up all the inspections. As you can see, it's due April 22nd, 2020, a little overdue on the hours, and it may not been updated here. So we're going to come over here. For this machine, you have the option to go over here to view and operation and buy parts, schedule a service, show it as a completed PM, edit maintenance settings, set the maintenance status, or shift a due date. There's other things you can do here. Request a quote or share this with somebody else. So I want to click on briefly here and show you view operations. As you come in here, you can now see what is needed for the parts on this unit to do this. If you choose, you can click buy parts and it will generate the parts list. And you can just hit buy parts and order them straight from here. You don't have to go back and look them up again and go back and forth. The other thing is you can assign an inspection from this tab up here in the top right, or you can schedule a service from here. So I want to click on that for a minute, and you can schedule a service and it will populate with your machine serial number. It will put the preferred date in. You can change this if you want to order it up like a week ahead. You can do that. Put your name in, your email address in, and submit, and it will be sent off to the local dealer for service. Okay, as we want to go back now to the overview, we can go back to overview. Easy way to go back to the equipment overview. And you can now check your utilization. Just take a minute here and go over this because idle time and fuel time is important nowadays. So we have total hours. This can be a line chart or a bar chart. You can also do working hours and idle hours. Now you can see the difference, how much your machine is being utilized on the job site. Also, the idle hours show up in orange. Anytime you hover over it, it will give you idle hours. For this instance, 2.9, working hours was 8.3. So as we get through that, you can see that that's a useful tool. You can also come in here and get work and idle percentages in a line or a bar chart, either way. So that's a useful tool on utilization of equipment. We'll come back to overview. And we will scroll down to scheduled oil sampling. We can come over here and this one has a final drive. When you click on it, it will open up a tab to an oil sample, much like you get by email or in the mail now. And it will have all the information that you need on it. It's accessible right here from the computer anytime you want it. As we go through the maps, this is just Google Maps that we're used to. Most of us use it on our phone when we're traveling. As you can see here, it'll open up into Google Maps and you can enlarge it. And we can now, I like to make it, oops, wrong way. I like to make it bigger so I can see what I'm doing here. And if I just grab the little man here and drag him over, once I get him over there, I get a street view where he's at, and let go of it here, and he's at the landfill in Beaumont. So up here in the top left, Lamb Canyon Road, Beaumont, California. Depending on where the address is, it's just like Google Maps, it will show up. When you want to get out of that, you can just click make it small, and you can view it on a small map, or you can just exit. Pretty handy tool. Also, it will show you where it's at, and you can pick the closest dealer to service that. If there's any inspections that have been done, they'll be recorded in here, and you'll be able to access them anytime from your tablet or your phone or your laptop. This works on all three. It will size down on an iPhone or a Android phone. It will be vertical instead of being all spread out like this, but it will work. And it's a pretty handy tool, making it accessible at all times. If you have fault codes, they will come up here and you can click on them. And it will open the alerts. It defaults to 3 months. You can change this. Most of these you can change them from 7 days up to a customizable 2-year maximum. The default code is 3 months. And as you can see, you can go over here and add a task or schedule a service right from here. It will tell you what's going on, abnormal update rate, and you can get it serviced from there. We will return back to overview here. And down here, you'll see service history and service meter history and any fault codes that came up here and when they were recorded, and the service meter hours also. The last couple of tabs here are warranties that you have left or that are upcoming expiration dates and hours. Any tasks that you've put in for yourself to remind yourself of that piece of equipment. Any value agreements you have are shown here, and any safety service letters will be available here, which makes it really handy because when I was in the field back in the day, these were all paper and you had to try to organize them and keep track of them, and you had binders and binders full of paperwork. I want to go back here to the asset list one more time and visit your equipment list here. You can manage these by groups, as in if you have them like 10 pieces of equipment in LA and 5 pieces in Palm Springs, or you can manage it any way you want to group them. You can add an asset by clicking on add an asset, and it will just open up and you can fill it in from here and put add. You may have equipment that's purchased or that's maybe non-CAT equipment you want to add in there, you can use, or you can add multiple assets. When you click on multiple assets, it will open up to a link on here. And when you hit the upload file, multiple asset template right here, it will open a Excel spreadsheet, and it's real easy to fill in, and then you hit upload and it will auto populate for you and save you a lot of time. As we cancel out of that one, we are going to go back to list, and as soon as it opens up here, and then we'll go back to table view, and you can sort all these by hitting the down arrows. You can sort them by all assets, active assets, or pending deletions. And you have a filter tab over here that will also let you do some filtering and downloading. So I hope that helped. And as we finish this up, I will return back and we'll turn it over to questions and answers here, maybe. Oh, it doesn't want to do it today. And remind you of our upcoming webinars, April 29th, parts.cat.com, May 6th, CAT app, and May 13th, CAT inspection app are the upcoming webinars. If you have any questions after you get off of here, we have an email set up, trainingwebinars@quinngroup.net for you to send the questions to, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can.